Welcome back to Tikio Takes, and the NBA Draft is finally here, and after months of scouting, watching film, reading reports, and completely overthinking every possible scenario, it's time for my official 2026 NBA Mock Draft. Now obviously, this isn't necessarily what I think every team will do. It's kind of a combination of team needs, like where I actually value the prospect, and some of the organizational tendencies, and a bit of what I would do if I were making these selections. With that being said, let's jump into the mock draft. So pick number 1, the Washington Wizards are going to select AJ Dybantsa from BYU, and this one feels pretty straightforward. So after the Wizards traded for both Anthony Davis and Trae Young, they've actually got a decent group. They have defensive big man Alex Sarr as their 5, AD is going to be the 4, Trae Young's their 1, and either Trey Johnson or Bilal are going to be their 2 guard. So they could definitely use a 3-man, although Keyshawn George or Will Riley could be a 3, but you can't pass up on AJ. You just can't. At 6'9" for elite athleticism, he has advanced shot creation, some defensive versatility, and real playmaking upside. Dybantsa checks every box teams look for in a modern NBA superstar. He's basically a point forward with a decent catch and shoot 3 and an elite mid-range game. So Washington needs a face of the franchise for the future, and Dybantsa gives them exactly that. And with the second pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Darryn Peterson from Kansas. And if AJ Dybantsa was not in this class, Darryn Peterson would be the ideal favorite to go number 1. Peterson might be the most polished scorer in the entire draft. He can create off the dribble, score at all 3 levels, operate in pick and roll situations, and he can take over games offensively. He's also got the clutch gene. Now this does make a weird fit with Ace Bailey, who played shooting guard for the Jazz this season, because they have Kessler at center, they have Triple J at power forward, Lauri Markkanen at 3. So Ace or Darryn will be coming off the bench this season, but I wouldn't be surprised if Utah tries to trade Markkanen to free up possessions for George, Ace, and Darryn to really show how good they are offensively. And just think about it. You have one of the best front court defenses with Kessler and Triple J, then pair that with 3 elite scorers. Utah might be building something cool here. And with the third pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Cam Boozer from Duke, and I love this fit. Memphis already has Ja, who they might try to move on, plus they have Ty Jerome, Scottie Pippen Jr., Javon Small, and Walter Clayton Jr. So I don't like the idea of them going guard here. So you have to take the best available player, especially when you don't have like a real direction going on in Memphis. And that best player is Cam Boozer. Boozer is a power forward who rebounds, passes really well, he can score, he defends, he's got a really good 3-point shot, and he just makes good decisions. His floor is incredibly high, and his ceiling is definitely all-star caliber, so taking Boozer gives him one of the most promising front courts in the league, being paired with Zach Edey. So if Ja can stay healthy, they have a solid chance to maybe join the play-in this year. And at pick number 4, the Chicago Bulls are going to select Caleb Wilson from North Carolina. And Caleb Wilson is a forward who arguably is the best athlete in the entire draft class, and he also has the tools to become a really special defensive player. The offensive game still needs development, but if everything clicks, he could become one of the best players in this draft class. And I love going with a big man here because for whatever reason, they decided to grab every single guard in the NBA at the deadline. So if I'm the Bulls, I'm solidifying my front court for the future, and taking Wilson also gives Buzelis a chance to play the 3 more and show more of his skill set. So I like Wilson at 4 here for the Bulls. And with the 5th pick, the Los Angeles Clippers are going to select Keaton Wagler from Illinois. And you may be asking, if you're going to go guard, why not take the best guard in the draft class in Darius Acuff? Well, I like Wagler here because he can still play with Darius Garland. Garland is still only 26 years old and is a very solid 20-point scorer in the NBA. And Wagler is 6'6" and can play positions 1 through 3 because of his size, ball handling, and shooting ability. He nearly shot 40% from 3 for Illinois this season, so he could easily slide to the 2 next to Garland and Kawhi, which still makes the Clippers competitive while they still have Kawhi, and it gives them a guard for the future. So I really like Wagler here. And at number 6, the Brooklyn Nets are going to select Darius Acuff from Arkansas. And the Nets need somebody that can create offense, and Darius Acuff may be the most electric guard available. His deep shooting range, confidence, and shot creation, and ability to score in bunches make him one of the most dangerous offensive players in this draft class. And the cherry on top is that he's not a ball hog. He's a willing passer who also tries hard on defense, so that really shows his competitive motor. Even though Brooklyn drafted 4 guards last draft class, I'm sorry, none of them compare to what Darius Acuff can give you, so you can't go off of positional needs when you have no identity like Brooklyn. You just go with the best player, and that player is Acuff right now. And with the 7th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select Kingston Flemings from Houston. I mean, come on, it's in his name. He was meant to be a Sacramento King player. But Flemings is a tough guard who's athletic, competitive, and impacts on both ends. He can attack downhill, defend at a high level, and bring energy every single night. His bread and butter is breaking down his defender and draining a mid-range shot or attack the basket. Kingston, due to his scoring ability and effort on defense, will give Sacramento one of the best two-way guards in the league in a few years. And at pick number 8, the Atlanta Hawks are going to select Mikel Brown Jr. from Louisville, and Atlanta needs more playmaking and backcourt stability. Mikel Brown is one of the smartest guards in the draft. His pace, vision, and pick-and-roll decision-making are elite. At 6'5", he also has ideal size for a modern guard, and he's also a very good shooter. So this pick feels very safe, and he has real upside, and I don't know if it's just me, but Mikel just looks like he'd fit well in an Atlanta Hawks jersey. And at pick number 9, we have the Dallas Mavericks, and they're going to take Ament from Tennessee. Now, the Mavericks swing for real upside here. Ament might have one of the highest ceilings in the draft. At his size, his shot-making ability and movement skills are incredibly rare. Dallas already has a foundation in place with Cooper Flagg, Max Christie, Gafford, and Lively, and all these players are big for the positions and can defend. And Ament would fit perfectly with what they got going on here. This can allow for some experimentation with Cooper at the 3 and 4, and the same with Ament. Both guys can be combo forwards, and I really love the versatility with this pick here. And with the 10th pick in the NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Brayden Burries from Arizona, and Milwaukee needs young talent badly. Burries is one of the most polished guards in the draft and feels like a player that can contribute sooner rather than later. He's efficient, smart, and consistently makes winning plays, and the Bucks need stability, and Burries provides that. Plus, if they don't trade Giannis, Burries fits nicely with him as a combo guard who can knock down open threes when Giannis crashes into the paint. So either way, Burries is a good pick for the Bucks here. And with the 11th pick in the NBA draft, the Golden State Warriors select Yaxel Lendeborg from Michigan, and they need to do this pick. So I think Acuff and Lendeborg are probably my favorite players, so the Warriors can't mess up on this one. And it's such a Warriors pick. Yaxel rebounds, passes, defends, and competes, and does all the little things that winning teams love. He fits in Golden State's system perfectly and gives them another high IQ player that can contribute immediately. Yaxel, in my opinion, is a top 5 level player because he can literally do everything on the court. He showed at Michigan he can guard positions 1 through 5. He even took the ball up the court many times, and he was also a really good three-point shooter to close the year. So I think he's a perfect Golden State Warrior player. And at pick number 12, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Aday, Yaxel Lendeborg's teammate from Michigan. And the OKC Thunder are most likely going to lose Isaiah Hartenstein because of Chet and Jalen's max steals kicking in. So they desperately need a Wemby stopper, and I think that guy's Aday, and he's going to create a new archetype in the NBA, the Wemby stopper. Mara is a 7'3" center who passes well, was an elite shot blocker in college, has nice post moves, and showed flashes of being able to hit threes. So I love Mara here, who's going to give some more depth to their front court position. And at pick 13, we have the Miami Heat, and they're going to select Karim Lopez, and this is just the most Miami Heat pick imaginable. Lopez has tremendous upside, positional versatility, and flashes of offensive creation. Miami has built a reputation for developing talented but unfinished players, and Karim Lopez just seems destined to be the next one. And I mean, come on, he's Hispanic and will sell many jerseys in Miami, so it's just written in stone. The Heat will select Karim Lopez. And with the 14th pick, the Charlotte Hornets are here, and they're going to select another Michigan player, and it's going to be Morez Johnson Jr. I absolutely love this pick, and it may be a little high for Morez, but I think he's a perfect pairing for the Hornets right now. Charlotte's going to add toughness here to his front court, and Morez Johnson is one of the most physical bigs in the draft. He rebounds well at a high level, protects the paint, plays with energy, can guard on the perimeter, and embraces doing the dirty work. Plus, he's also not a bad three-point shooter. The Hornets have lacked interior toughness for years, and Johnson immediately helps address that problem. Plus, they still have Ryan Kalkbrenner, so I mean, they're going to beef up their front court with this pick here and improve their defense because they already have great shooting, with Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, and Concanepple, so Johnson fits perfectly here in Charlotte. And once again, we have the Chicago Bulls at pick number 15, and I think they should select Hans Steinbach from Washington. After grabbing Caleb Wilson earlier, Chicago takes another swing in the front court. Steinbach is one of the most intriguing bigs in the draft because of his combination of size, skill, and feel for the game. He can also pass, was the best rebounder in college basketball last year, and he finishes around the rim, and he also showed flashes being a modern offensive center by draining a couple threes. The Bulls are still searching for long-term pieces, and Steinbach has the potential to become one and solidify their front court for the future with Caleb Wilson. And we continue the streak of repeating teams with the Memphis Grizzlies at pick number 16 here, and they're going to take Allen Graves from Santa Clara. Memphis already landed Cam Boozer earlier, and now they add one of the biggest risers in the class. Allen Graves is a modern combo forward that can shoot, defend multiple positions, and fit into almost any lineup. The Grizzlies don't need another ball-dominant player. They need versatile pieces to complement their core, and Graves checks a lot of boxes, and he's going to pair really well with Cedric Howard. And at pick number 17, we have the OKC Thunder once again, and I think they're going to select Chris Cenac Jr. from Houston, and this is another classic Thunder pick. Chris Cenac, who's a power forward slash center, gives OKC high upside rim protector with tremendous physical tools. He's mobile, rebounds well, protects the basket, and still has room to grow offensively. The Thunder have consistently shown they're willing to be patient with talent, and Cenac's upside makes him a perfect developmental piece. And my goal for the Thunder this draft was to beef up their front court, since for the next 10 years plus, they're going to have to deal with Wemby, so I'm building an army for them. And with the 18th pick in the draft, the Charlotte Hornets are going to select Labaron Philon from Alabama, and Charlotte gets another steal here. Philon brings speed, shot creation, athleticism, and shooting ability to their backcourt. He's dangerous in transition, can collapse defenses, and plays with confidence. So pairing him with Morez Johnson gives the Hornets two very different but useful building blocks moving forward. And you may be thinking, why would Charlotte draft a point guard when they have LaMelo? Well, that's because LaMelo is very injury prone, and you never know when you lose him for a season. So having Philon gives him some guard insurance. And at number 19, we have the Toronto Raptors, and I think they're going to select Christian Anderson Jr. from Texas Tech. And Christian Anderson is one of the best shooters in the draft and has legitimate scoring ability off the dribble. Toronto has always valued skill development, and Anderson feels like the type of player that could blossom in their system. Plus, they have a crap ton of wings and just lack the shot creation needed to beat the Cavs in the first round. But if they had someone like Anderson, being another guy who could create, they might have advanced to the second round and maybe beat the Pistons, who knows. And with the 20th pick in the draft, we have the San Antonio Spurs, and I think they're going to select Jayden Quaintance from Kentucky. This feels like the perfect Spurs selection. Quaintance might be the best defensive prospect in this entire draft class. His shot blocking instincts, mobility, and defensive versatility are special. San Antonio already has offensive stars, so adding an elite defensive talent like Quaintance could give them one of the most terrifying young defensive cores in basketball. And with the 21st pick, the Detroit Pistons are going to select Bennett Sturts from Iowa, and I absolutely love this pick for Detroit. Sturts is one of the smartest guards in the draft and consistently makes winning plays. He's a terrific passer and capable scorer, and has an advanced understanding of the game. The Pistons need players who can create besides Cade Cunningham, and Sturts will be able to help out tremendously. And at pick 22, we have the Philadelphia 76ers, and I think they're going to select Cameron Carr from Baylor. Philadelphia takes a swing on upside here. Carr has great size for a wing, is a great shot maker, and possesses athletic tools NBA teams love if that could develop into some solid defense. He's a legit go-to scorer who can also play off-ball, and who better to learn how to improve your two-way skills other than Paul George. So I really like this fit here, and is a definite steal for Philly. And with the 23rd pick, the Atlanta Hawks are going to select Zuby Ejiofor from St. John's, and this might end up being one of the biggest steals in the draft, even though it's kind of high for Zuby. Zuby is a tough, physical, relentless big who rebounds well and plays with non-stop energy. And he's also really developed his three-point shot, and he's a great passer as well. So he understands his role, embraces contact, and impacts winning. So every successful NBA team needs players like this, and Atlanta gets one here. Atlanta earlier got offense and creation they needed with Mikel, so this pick gives them some more beef in their front court. And at pick 24, we have the New York Knicks, and I think they're going to grab Malik Thomas from Arkansas. And Thomas is an aggressive scorer who can create his own shot and bring offensive punch off the bench. The Knicks are one of the best defensive teams in the league, so it never hurts to have more offensive punch to pair with Jalen Brunson and company. And with the 25th pick, we have the Los Angeles Lakers, and I think they're going to select Isaiah Evans from Duke. And this is exactly the kind of upside swing the Lakers should take. And is it just me, or is it a canon event Isaiah goes to the Lakers? I don't know, it just feels right. But Isaiah Evans is one of the best pure shooters in the entire draft class. At his size, with his scoring ability and shot making talent, he has real offensive upside. And if he develops physically and becomes more consistent defensively, this could be an incredible value pick. And with the 26th pick, the Denver Nuggets are going to select Dalen Swain from Texas. And Denver gets another versatile wing here. Swain brings athleticism, defensive upside, transition scoring, and toughness. The Nuggets have always done a great job identifying players that fit around their stars, and Swain feels like a natural fit within their system. What I also like about Swain is that he's already had to play around other stars like he did at Texas, playing with guys like Tremont Mark, Jordan Pope, and Vokatitis. And at pick 27, we had the Boston Celtics, and they're going to grab Baba Miller from Cincinnati. This feels like one of the most Celtics picks possible. Boston has always valued versatile players that can handle, pass, defend, and play multiple positions, and Baba Miller brings all of that. The consistency remains a question for him, but the talent and versatility is undeniable. If any organization can maximize his skill set, it's Boston. But they could definitely use a 3, and Baba Miller can definitely play the 3, even at 6'11", but he's a definite 4. And with the 27th pick, the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to select Koa Pete from Arizona. And if Koa Pete falls here, Minnesota should run to the podium because Pete is one of the safest prospects in the draft. He's tough, productive, versatile, and impacts winning in countless ways. He may not have superstar upside, but he fit beautifully alongside Minnesota's current core and immediately strengthened their rotation. And at pick 29, the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to select Alex Karaban from UConn. And this fit just makes too much sense. Karaban is a high IQ forward who can shoot, play team defense, and contribute to winning basketball. And the Cavs don't need another star. They need smart role players that fit around Harden and Donovan Mitchell. And Karaban feels tailor-made for that role. And to close out the first round, the Dallas Mavericks are going to grab Ubuka Okore, who is one of the most explosive guards in the draft. Okore can score at all 3 levels, attack the basket, and create offense when defenses break down. Pairing Nate Ament with Ubuka Okore gives Dallas 2 very different high upside bets, which is exactly the type of swings teams should take in the late first round. Plus, Kyrie Irving is so injury prone and bipolar about wanting to play on the team he's on, so it just doesn't hurt to have a backup plan, and I think Okore can be that plan. So that's my official 2026 NBA mock draft. There are definitely going to be some picks people disagree with, and that's what makes the draft so fun. Every team has different valuations, and every year somebody gets drafted way higher than expected. So let me know in the comments, what's your biggest disagreement with my mock draft, and which prospect do you think is going to be the biggest steal of the entire first round? So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and God bless you all.